Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about a narcissistic trait, as I see it as a narcissistic trait, and it's that of risky behavior, but I'll call it the daredevil. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. That's what I would. And it's when a person has the habit of doing things that are risky, risky behavior, and they don't have to be narcissistic, I don't know anybody who's been diagnosed, so I'm not here to diagnose. But yeah, they'll do it, but some of them aren't even aware that they're doing it. Some are. But I feel like the reason is because they're still stuck in an earlier stage in life, and there is an earlier stage where there's a stage when you're not even aware of danger, and there's a part of a stage where you don't think anything is ever going to happen to you. Okay, and that could be part of it. But some of it could be that they feel that they are so perfect that nothing's going to go wrong. And sometimes I think this is unconscious. They're not consciously aware of that they're doing it, like I just said. And they do. But it was on my mind when I woke up this morning, so I'm going to talk about it. Okay, and the main one that I have seen in more recent years is, doesn't mean that's all, is when they go against anything that's weather related. Like, warnings about the weather, say there's a tornado warning, or there's, it depends on where you live, how, it is about weather. I live in Texas, so when it snows or there's ice on the road, I think everywhere people don't want to drive on the ice, but if it's snowing and they're saying stay at home, it's, unless you have your emergency, type of person, you simply have to get out on it to stay at home. These are the kind of things they will go against. They just won't mind what somebody else says when it comes down to it. They will say, oh, these forecasters are wrong, so huge percent. Well, yeah, the weather is extremely hard to predict. But if they're warning you that you need to stay at home, stay at home. Okay. But the ones that I've known with this kind of, personality, they won't. They will not. They won't listen. And that staying at home, there's also the reverse, is to leave, to evacuate. Now, I grew up on the, near the coast, so I have been through hurricanes. We didn't have the kind of weather forecast they have now about hurricanes, and believe me, when you're in your home and you see people canoeing down what used to be your street and all the way up to practically your front door, yeah, and but I saw tornadoes. I was in a tornado the last time I think the second to the last time I was there, yeah, and you have the tornadoes, you have the hurricanes, you have the floods, you have all that, and they will warn. We actually had there was a railroad track and one of the whatever they're called. What are they called? Buses? What is that called? Anyway, on the railroad, the train, one of them fell off, and it was a chemical one, and they evacuated the whole town. There are different things that they say you must leave. Okay, all right. Well, they won't. They will not leave. They will find every reason again to say, oh, they're the weather forecasters. They're always wrong. And, sometimes they are. Sometimes you're lucky. But is your life really worth risking it? Seriously. Now, this narcissistic type, they have their own brand of logic. And it won't make sense to the people with brains. I'm sorry. They are really stuck in an earlier stage in life when it is all about them. Maybe more than one stage, just depending on what they can pick and choose here, that nothing is going to touch them, or they really don't care, so it's kind of strange. But yeah, if you're with someone like that, oh boy, you're in the middle of a, you're living on the coast and there's a hurricane coming. I know a hurricane coming, but there is, and this person will not let you leave. I had a friend that was in that, right after Hurricane Katrina, there was Hurricane Rita, and I owned some property there. I still own the property, but the houses it was 2 houses. They were really destroyed, if you come down to it, by that hurricane. And I was teaching at university at that time, far away, so I didn't have to evacuate because I wasn't anywhere near the Gulf. But she stayed there, and with her, I think it was her boyfriend or her husband, who refused to leave or something. And she said it was horrendous, to go through a hurricane. Well, we've been through hurricanes before, but still, that one was really bad. They get worse, it seems. It's time to go by. Times to go by. Okay, and there's some other things like, they don't always fill up the gas in their, automobile. These are things that if you're driving with somebody on a long distance, and what came to mind is, because I have been on the road far too many times, when back in the day when you didn't have any warning like you do today, but one of them was 3.5 years ago, because I was traveling a long distance, and there were all of a sudden more tornadoes. But you get in some kind of situation like that, and say you're with somebody who won't do things like fill up gas. They're not prepared. They don't tend to be prepared because, again, nothing bad's going to happen to them. And their driving is horrendous, really, because nothing is going to happen to them. That's how they feel. Of course it is. Something could happen to them. We know, those of us who are not narcissistic, but to them, nothing bad is ever going to happen to them. Some of them. And narcissism is on a spectrum, and they're not all the same. They don't have to meet the same criteria, and they don't always meet the same criteria. It's a certain amount for, cluster Bs all around, a certain amount to the degree to which it needs to be a professional who makes that. There's someone who's actually qualified, professional, to make that judgment. But these are just what I'm talking about is traits that I feel are traits. I could be wrong, I could always be wrong. Okay, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the bad behaviors we pick up from this type. Okay, and they call them narcissistic fleas. When you pick up bad behaviors from a narcissistic person, and you're not a narcissist, you're not that extreme, but we do pick up some bad, behaviors from them, and it can be along the same line, not feeling enough, to evacuate, because that is something you learned. You learn that you don't always have to, when they say evacuate, you need to evacuate, or when there's really bad weather, to go, there's a hurricane, tornado warning, to go to your safe room. I definitely do. Tornado warnings cause me to have a little bit of panic, to tell you the truth. Quite a bit of anxiety, and then a little panic too. But this kind of thing, or we can pick up just simply doing risky behaviors that have nothing to do with weather, of course. Just risky behaviors like online dating. Seriously. I did that, like I've said before and say it again. When you say you've done a lot of online dating, you should have quit a long time ago, a long time before then. And I did a lot of it. And that's risky behavior. Extremely risky behavior. That's my opinion from, experience. So... okay, and I know that some think that my driving down the road, doing videos is risky behavior. I kind of, I go, no. Because as it is, it's on my windshield. It's right underneath my rear view mirror, and the way I have it facing, it's like a front, a little bitty tiny front view mirror, which I don't look at it when I'm driving, of course. And, it's like talking to somebody sitting next to you. Do you drive down the road and not say a word to anybody in your automobile? It's the same. You gotta watch that. Seriously, it's something people can take too far. But in this city, they're going to a ban or something of texting starts in September. I don't know if it's the same as videoing. I don't know. So I'm not that concerned about it right now because I plan on stopping doing that. But let's lead to something that vlogging did show more than once, even drive vlogging. Okay, and I'm not sure which channel I'll put this video on, but the one I have that I do is Scattered Thoughts, and it's every once in a while I'll put one up about life in Narcissismville. Well, yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before I put it up. I was doing a video and it wasn't on the subject of living life in Narcissismville, but a truck. This is risky behavior. A truck that was in the right lane, I think, 2 over from me in the right, and I was, and there was a turning lane to the left of me. Well, that truck from the two guys in a truck from the right of me, there was no other traffic. They zoomed right. They zoomed right in front of me to go to that turning lane. Okay, and in the video, I don't know why, but the videos don't show it as close as it actually is. But it was closer, and you can hear in the video me slamming on my brakes and stuff falling. Well, you can't hear the brakes, but you can hear everything shifting forward and falling on some of it fell on the floor. But now that was risky behavior, and I'm telling you, they didn't give any indication that the passenger did, that they kind of noticed that I was there. But no matter whether I was there or not, that's not a way you drive, to be way far and like 4 lanes over from where you're going to be turning, and you just cut across. So risky behavior, because nothing's bad to them, nothing bad's going to happen to them, and they own the road, kind of attitude. So just like those cyclists that you keep seeing go by. They'll get on these 1-lane roads, seriously, and go in both directions, and you're having to follow them. Anyway, you can see I'm not catching really a cold. I've mentioned in videos I've been doing a lot of dental work, and because of what, how it is, I was supposed to have this changed and go away. Well, not really go away, but I don't want to go into detail, but 2 weeks ago, was it? I can't remember, but now it's going to be the beginning of September. It makes me talk funny. I can't say certain letters, like THs don't come out right, S's, and there was just one right in this video, I can't remember. And also, the way it messes with my sinuses, I'll sound funny at times. I sound funny at times anyway, but hey, that's for me to say, not you. Anyway, that would be risky behavior. No, I'm kidding. All right, before I just keep rambling, if you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle, and if you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles, and give it a thumbs up and comment if you want. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.